Hey everybody, it's Juan here, just giving you guys a quick update. While we were recording the last two episodes, unfortunately, it was pouring raining outside. So you're going to be hearing 90% of us and 10% of straight crackling and the raindrops dancing all over the air conditioner in the room we're recording. I'm sorry in advance. I hope you guys still enjoy the show. Hopefully, it doesn't bother you a little too much. I'll try my best to compress the noise, but unfortunately, you're going to hear a lot of raindrops. I hope you guys enjoy. Goodbye.
This is the Sports Dynasty podcast with yours truly, Trevor.
That was actually pretty good. It went up a lot. So good shit.
Good job.
All right. Week 7's in the books. Pretty interesting week. Didn't think it was going to be, but it's a pretty interesting week. How was your weekend?
It was absolutely phenomenal, and we'll get to that in a second. But
We'll get into the entire weekend
yes.
in the next Patriots-based episode.
yes, it was awesome. That's all I gotta say. It was awesome. A lot of games that were good today. A lot of pretty good games that were. Some were like, why did I bother watching? Or another one was like, damn, best game of the week. We're gonna get started in Buffalo. The winless Miami Dolphins lose yet again, 31-21 to the Buffalo Bills. Bills are now 5-1. The Dolphins scored 21 points. That's the most points they scored in a game all season.
I knew they were gonna play it. I knew they were gonna play it close. Knew it.
It was close for the most part. The Dolphins had the lead twice in this game. It wasn't until the fourth quarter where
A whole twice.
yeah,
A whole two times.
they literally had 3 leads the entire season, 2 in this game alone.
Congratulations.
Josh Allen was pretty decent. 2 touchdowns, 202 yards. They ran the ball effectively with Singletary, and obviously the old man Frank Gore. Even Josh Allen had a couple of runs in there. John Brown caught 5 catches for touchdown, 83 yards. For the most part, the Bills did what they had to do. The Bills offensively didn't screw up too much, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they weren't stagnant for once.
Yeah, for once they weren't terrible.
So you play Miami, you better not be.
And for the Dolphins, this is probably the best game they played all year. To be honestly, the Dolphins' best game they played all year. Fitzmagic had 282 yards with a touchdown, and that's pretty much it. They were completely awful. They were bad. They were completely awful. When the Dolphins had scored a touchdown in the end of the game, the Dolphins were trying to get onside kick. And when they got the onside kick, they ended up not only not recovering it, the Bills recovered the ball and ran it back for a touchdown.
Yeah, Micah Hyde just yicked it midair and left.
Yeah, Micah Hyde did all that. So yeah, the Bills 5-1. They are literally probably the second best team in the AFC.
Did that ever happen before?
When the Bills were the second best team in the AFC in our lifetime.
No, I'm not trying to play them that hard. I'm talking about the onside kick return.
It's been a while when you see something like that happen. Like what they did, like to return the onside kick and then running back for the score. It's kind of hard to do.
Very hard to do.
Very hard to do. So I don't know, but shout out to the Bills. Good job, Bills.
But of course, Miami would allow that.
Yeah, fucking course they would. But other than that, good stuff for them. Coming up next is the Jacksonville Jaguars go to Cincinnati to get their big road win against the Bengals, 27-17.
All right, we're gonna go through this really quick. I can point this out because I saw highlights. Highlights are all you needed to see in this freaking game. All you gotta say is this: the Bengals kept it tough in the first half. Then Andy Dalton exploded, and they got their ass whooped. That's what happened. Basically, that's it.
Basically, Leonard Fournette had 130 yards. He was alive in this game. It was not hard. We were playing against the trash as Cincinnati Bengals defense. Geno Atkins had 2 sacks. That's it.
That's cute,
but that's it. The Bengals are now 0-7 for the first time in like 30 years. I think it was like 19-something, 1989, 1990, something like that. I'm not too sure, but I know I've seen it on TV. Said that it's like the first time they're 0-7 in a long time. They suck.
Yeah, they suck really bad.
They're horrendous.
They're not good at anything.
I mean, Alex Erickson had a big game, but that's not saying much because he didn't do anything. Besides that, that's it. Moving on.
Yes, please.
The Vikings defeated the Lions 42-30. Kirk Cousins had his game, just completely doing what he does against the NFC South, NFC North in the division game, and just go off. Stephon Diggs completely destroyed them. 7 catches for 141 yards. He didn't score though, but he was killing them, destroying them. since they were in Detroit, we started seeing shades of WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan, because Dalvin Cook was running wild on the Lions defense, brother. On the line on the
Yeah, they couldn't tackle him to save their lives.
it was horrible.
It was
horrific.
ridiculous.
It was horrific. But on the plus side, on the Lions, Marvin Jones just went absolutely ballistic. Like 4 touchdowns. Like if you had him on fantasy, you were really kind of happy. But even though he was really happy. He just went ballistic for no reason in a loss. But
yeah, it was for no reason. But yeah, he really did go insane.
But yeah,
But I think he has a history of doing that to the Vikings, and I don't know what the hell happened to Xavier Rhodes, but I think he might have fallen off a cliff, bro. I don't think he's very good anymore, which is really bad for the Vikings down the stretch, because the rest of the secondary is even worse than he is.
Yeah.
So that's a massive problem. They may have to start making some type of moves because for trade deadline soon.
The Vikings improved to 5-2. Lions fall to 2-3-1. Pretty horrific. But it is what it is. It's the Vikings. We knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, the Lions suck.
I mean, it was close until the Lions gave up a huge play action pass, the 62-yarder to Stephon Diggs, which I called it happen. I called it. Everyone in the stadium called this was gonna happen, and exactly what he did. Even the commentators said, "Oh, this is the way he did the exact same thing he did to them when he was on the Redskins, and that's exactly what he did to beat them again." That's all I gotta say about that. The Oakland Raiders head to Lambeau and get demolished by the Packers, 42-24. Josh Jacobs had a great game, 124 yards for 221 yards. Darren Waller, I think it's the tight end.
The rookie tight end.
Rookie tight end. He killed two touchdowns, 126 yards, 7 grabs. That's all you can say about that because the defense was absolutely horrendous.
Wasn't there, yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't show up. Aaron Rodgers had an Aaron Rodgers game against the Raiders. 5 touchdowns, almost 430 yards. And
a throwback double check touchdown.
Yeah. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had 2 big touchdowns. 2 big catches, 1 for touchdown.
And one of them was so Oakland. He just took it and left, and the rest of the defense just turned around and looked at him. Like, why was he so alone in that touchdown? I don't know. I mean, I do know it's Oakland. That's why. But
I mean, the Packers didn't have to do much in this game because the defense didn't even press. They didn't even get it. I mean, they got 1 interception, but they didn't sack him at the game. So they didn't have to do much as Oakland.
So then let me get into this because I have a feeling that I'm gonna be talking like this for the rest of the year until he finally loses a playoff game like he always does. You better not be overrating Aaron Rodgers yet again because he obliterated a bottom feeder team like Oakland who have 0 defense, who apparently Pro Football Focus is putting as the worst defense, which boggles me because Atlanta exists.
Yeah.
But if that's true, whatever. But they are the Oakland Raiders. The touchdowns that he threw, any quarterback would throw those same touchdowns, including Derek Carr by himself, who would have thrown the same touchdown passes. They were wide open. They suck. Do not overrate Aaron Rodgers like you've been doing for the last 10 years. No. He is not back. He did, however, put himself into the MVP conversation, though. But it's still Russell Wilson's to lose right now. So calm down, relax.
We'll get to him in a second.
Yeah, he beat up on Oakland. Wow. That's like a freaking 12th grader beating up on a 4th grade child. Calm down.
All right. Speaking of Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons hosted the LA Rams, and if you think it couldn't get worse than Atlanta, it did. The Rams just came in there and just steamrolled through them.
I expected this 100%.
Horrible. Just horrible. We'll wrap it up quickly on this one. It's more demoralizing when you muff a punt and they run it in for the score with like 40 seconds left in the game. Like, you're already up 30-10, and then the last touchdown was like really just demoralizing. Like, that suck. Anyway, they're obviously rebuilding. They're obviously unloading the team because this team sucks.
How about say building well?
They suck. Dan Reeves, Dan Quinn. It's time for you to go, buddy.
We're gonna say this every week, huh?
Every week, yeah, it's time for you to go. I mean, there's a good chance he'll be gone, but Arthur Blake's a pussy, so. So he but
Okay, all right.
all right,
I'm not adding that. That's funny.
that's neither here nor there. But for the most part, yeah,
They're horrific everywhere. I mean, Ryan got hurt too. So
yeah, it's pretty. That sucks. Yeah.
if he's hurt bad, I don't know how they're gonna score at all.
I didn't even know Matt Shaw was on the team.
You didn't know that?
I didn't realize he was on the I said, wait a minute, Mr. Pick Six himself?
Yeah, he's so trash he can barely look like a quarterback in preseason. So I can't wait to see him throw pick sixes next week and the week after that.
Oh my, Mr. Pick Six himself. Like that's embarrassing.
Yeah, Julio Jones made a face during the game that explains the fucking season.
It's time for him to ask for a trade. Listen, everybody getting traded. Sanu's gone.
Yeah, they already started.
Sanu's gone. So Julio, you might be next. Even though they probably like, nah.
Hell no, they're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna do that. Even though there are teams that would give up everything for him. They would.
Like the Packers.
That's one of the P teams. I'm like, you know what? Trade the whole team, get him win a championship now.
Real quick before you finish out with the Rams. Todd Gurley, if you didn't know this before, you know he's not the same, right?
Obviously.
Did he even average 3 yards per carry in that game?
2.3.
Yeah, that's pretty pedestrian for a defense who literally can't stop me running on them. So, yeah, that's pretty bad. Even though he had 2 nice touchdowns. One of them was a screen, though. We had a nice one at the corner of the end zone. It was really cool. He's not the same. He's very serviceable, though. But he's not the same. So just in case if you were waiting for Todd Gurley to be the 2017 version, yeah, we're never getting that again.
Yeah, he's over.
Yeah.
Anyhow, probably the best game of the week, the Indianapolis Colts. I'm sorry.
My Colts. Continue.
Defeated the Houston Texans 30-23. Yeah, I know it was very, 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 very personal right there. I don't know what happened right there. But anyway, Colts. That's probably the best game of the night.
My right hand of my heart and everything.
That was the best. That was the best game of the week, because obviously, for the most part, the Texans had a solid game plan. You know, they was able to get D-Hop into the game, 9 catches for 160 yards for a touchdown.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, finally he was there. Kenny still had a couple of action, 100 yards receiving as well. Deshaun Watson threw pretty well. Had a pretty decent game towards the end. 308 yards.
But he was wonderful for the most part.
He was wonderful for the most part.
He definitely won me over.
But that Texas O line is
back.
Bad. It's
back. Remember everybody was talking about, oh, they're decent now because he didn't get sacked for 2 games straight. Now he played against the real defense, and what happened? Yeah, he had to run for his life, right? There you go.
There was a play that was so bad, like it was like in the red zone. They're about to score. They was chasing him under the rest so bad. He maneuvers.
Are you talking about the sack that may have not been a sack?
Yeah, I don't think it was a sack. I don't believe it was a sack, but whatever. He threw a pass to D-Hop in the end zone for a touchdown.
But the defenders already had his leg locked for about 2 seconds, so the referees called it dead. So they called it a sack. But I've seen instances where they'll have that to another quarterback and they won't call it dead for some reason. And quarterbacks either will finish or they will fumble a ball or something, and the referees let it go.
A lot of questionable calls in these games, but of course it's the referees.
But that's what happened.
Yeah, but overall it was a great game.
And that basically cost them the game because they wound up failing for a field goal instead of getting a touchdown.
Yeah, true.
Because they gave up a safety later to try to conserve field position and whatnot.
Yeah.
And give them, they would have been down by 5 instead of 7 or whatever. But
Jacoby Brissett showed out in this game. He was busting ass. He was exposing that Texans secondary, which I said before, not very good.
It's horrific.
It's not very good. 326 yards for 4 touchdown passes. Zach Pascal was busy. 2 touchdown catches.
Almost everybody was busy.
106 yards, 6 catches overall. Everyone was on fire today.
Chester Rogers had some ridiculous catch, like almost in the sideline. It was beautiful. And he sucks. He has
normally, if this was in Houston, T.Y. Hilton would have been destroying them because that's the second home. He was pretty okay in this game. The Colts defense was on fire. They sacked him. They sacked Deshaun Watson 3 times, forced 2 turnovers, including a pick in crunch time to seal the deal.
Yep, the game-winning pick.
That was very impressive to seal the game. They have
sad.
They have sole possession of first place in the AFC South. They are currently the number 2 seed in the AFC, which I think will continue. Yes, say it again. Go ahead, say it.
My Colts.
Okay, his Colts. They're up
Ah,
2023. But yeah.
All right. Now to go into this a little deeper, he's 4-0 against the Texans.
Oh,
100%.
oh, really?
4-0, undefeated, and beat them in two teams, by the way.
Oh yeah,
New England.
yeah. 2016.
And then beat them 3 times, and pending because they played one more time. Remember what I said last week? This was at Indy. So there was a specific person who played well. I think did he get 2 touchdowns, T.Y. Hilton?
He not touchdown. He scored at all.
I think he got 1 actually because he does a little T.Y. dance. So I remember that.
He was good. He was good in that game.
Because he's T.Y. Hilton. Of course he was good.
But I know. But in Houston, he's going to destroy them.
At Houston, that's what I'm saying.
He does it every year too.
Yeah, he got 1.
He had 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's going to destroy them.
Oh, and Eric Ebron with that one-handed catch at the back of the end zone. Lord have mercy. He still sucks too though.
Yeah, I mean, even though his
Yeah,
career,
no real hands,
even though
but-
his career was revitalized in Indianapolis.
I mean, kind of.
because he was kind of ass in Detroit. That's neither here nor there.
But this Colts team, what I said about them is the reason why I love them so much. Great culture, great coaching, good defense. They have a plan all the time, and they have the best culture in that division. You didn't see it then. I don't know when y'all gonna see it.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. It was a rainy day in Washington.
It was a swamp. What do you mean?
A swamp down there. It was bad. The 49ers had improved to 6-0 by defeating the Redskins 9-0. Yes, I meant the 49ers and the Redskins, not the Giants and the Nationals. 9-0. No, that's what I meant. The 49ers defense is legit. We know this already. They're crazy, but this is my problem. They made a move today when they traded for Emmanuel Sanders because they need somebody to move the change because 9 points to the Redskins, to the Deadskins, and the reason about the Deadskins, they were actually trying to win. They were trying.
They always try to win.
They were really trying. It just couldn't. They're in the. I know it was raining, so they didn't throw the ball a lot. But come on, it's the Redskins. You mean that Matt Breida couldn't just run through that horrific Redskins defense? No, terrible. So yeah, they're undefeated, but this performance kind of knocked them down for me a little bit. I think the Saints are still the best, and they're not the best team in the NFC.
Okay, that's fair though.
That's fair, because that performance like that, you're not beating New Orleans like that. That's not. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
But they got some speed in that receiving corps now. Emmanuel Sanders and Marquise Goodwin, Dante Pettis, Debo Samuel, George Kittle. It's not bad. Not bad at all. They definitely got stronger with that trade.
Case Keenum threw for 77 yards, which was the second lowest of the week, which we'll get to that later. 77 yards passing. You're an NFL quarterback.
Oh,
77 yards passing. Horrific. That's what I gotta say about that. The Arizona Cardinals head to Pat Life Stadium, because that's the new name for MetLife Stadium now. Pat Life Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Cardinals beat the Giants 27-21. Now, pretty funny is that both first and second string running backs for the Cardinals are injured. So you had a guy from Fordham. You probably never heard of him before. You never heard of him before. His name is Edmonds from Fordham, from the University of Fordham in the Bronx. Rushed. He literally scored by himself. He beat the Giants by himself. 126 yards for 3 touchdown rushes. All of them, 2 of them were in the first quarter, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad. This Giant defense is
a massive problem.
Horrendous. Yes. Kyler Murray only threw for 100 yards. Literally threw for 100 yards because he didn't have to do much. But this is kind of like gives me a little issue because a lot of people saying that Kyler Murray is the best QB in this draft, and I'm like, well, he's not playing like he is. At least he was not that to me in this game. Daniel Jones is not that bad. He's not that bad, but he still has a lot to work though.
Low key, the best rookie is Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
Right now.
6th round draft. Yeah, 6th round draft. Gardner, yeah, he is. Saquon returned. He had 72 yards rushing and a touchdown. That was basically it. You know, they were down 17-0. They stormed back, and it wasn't enough because what's this guy's name? Pat Shermer thought it was a good idea to do a draw play, 3rd and 15 with a minute left in the game.
That's very attractive.
3rd and 15 draw play, And it's bad enough that you don't have the offensive line anyway to block it. Because he said, because Edmonds from the Cardinals did the exact same thing. 30-15, ran a draw play, and converted. And it's like, well, your defense sucks. That's why he's able to do it. What makes you think that you can do it? Your offensive line is horrific. Nate Solder, man. Can't pay all this goddamn money to suck. He sucks.
I know.
He's bad. He's bad. The Giant fans was like, we got Nate Solder. Our offense is not gonna be better.
Yeah, that Danny Dimes magic died because now everybody's went back to being what they are.
Yeah,
Trash.
Yeah,
8 sacks.
horrendous.
8 sacks.
The most they've had all year.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the Tennessee Titans defeated the San Diego Chargers 23-20. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Ryan Tannehill was very, very, very good in his game. Well, he was decent in his game, but it's the Chargers. But he took the place of your guy Marcus Mariota.
My guy.
That's your guy, man. That's your guy.
No.
That's your guy.
Anybody who knows me knows that is definitely not the case. That piece of trash.
Oh man, it was bad. Derrick Henry had 90 yards for a touchdown. He was able to move the ball around, something that this guy couldn't do. Couldn't move the ball around, always getting sacked and everything. I think he only got sacked like a few times. I mean, like 1 or 2 times, I think. He got sacked 2 times. 2 times instead of being sacked 50 times by Marcus Mariota. The Chargers, they suck. The Chargers, they suck, and I just don't know what to say about that.
Well, it's easy. It's very much to say something about a certain someone in the Chargers.
Oh.
You know, the guy who's not going to get paid ever.
Oh, Melvin Gordon only had 32 yards rushing.
Yeah, he averaged 2 yards per carry, right?
Yeah.
And that's not the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake is that they were actually very much in a position to win the game. So they were in the goal line at the 1. First and goal. They run up the gut with Melvin Gordon. He got stopped. What's funny about that is he actually did fumble the ball, but he recovered his own fumbles. I don't know if anybody knew that. That's what happened. So what the Chargers do is they do the same play again. And what happens this time? He fumbles the ball again, and they lose. So when you say you literally dropped your money bag, that's exactly what Melvin Gordon did. Whether or not you like him or not is not relevant, but the quote-unquote second string running back, the guy who didn't run anywhere near as good, but he was still serviceable on the air since he had 7 receptions for 118 yards. You know, the reason why they're moving the ball down the field. He has outplayed them in every facet of the way. So, the Chargers, I think, are good. Probably won't see Melvin Gordon back, or we'll see him back for like $2.
Yeah, he's a pay cut. No one's gonna pay you, sir.
Yeah.
You held out for literally for no reason.
Yeah, it was a big mistake. Sorry. Noah.
Oh well. The Saints go into the Windy City and beat on the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that score is very inflated, by the way.
Very inflated, actually, because this game was really bad.
It was like 36 or like 7 or 10 or something at one point. It was a big, gigantic beatdown. Says a lot. We're not going to talk about the Saints that much because you don't need to. They're a beautiful football team. They did them. That's it. Without Kamara, by the way, this happened.
Latavius Murray killed.
Yeah.
He ran all over the Chicago front, and which is weird because Chicago they would be saying, oh, they're a great defense, blah blah blah. They got destroyed. They ass whipped.
And I have an explanation, at least for my theory, as to why that is. Okay, and I'll say that when we get to the Chicago portion.
All right, now for Chicago.
Which is right now.
Chicago, I'm gonna let Chicago know. Mitch Trubisky ain't it, man. It's not it, man.
And that, I believe, is the reason why the defense is underperforming. Why play if they're never going to help me out? I think that's their attitude. It's similar to Jacksonville last year with Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
I think they completely underperformed because they were sick and tired of the horrific quarterback play. They finally got rid of him, and they're actually a decent defense again without Jalen.
Yeah.
And without that other really good linebacker, I forgot his name, that retired temporarily. There's Miles Jack and there's the other one. I forgot the other one. But yeah, they have two good ones. So I believe Chicago is having the same attitude. Why play if they're never going to move the ball, even to give us rest? Forget scoring. At least stay on the field for more than a minute and a half and give us a breather. They don't even do that.
They're offensively challenged. When your offense is rushing, literally rushed 17 yards total for the whole game for 4 people. There's running back by committee, the Montgomery and the Tariq Coleman. It's not working.
They only had 5 attempts. Trubisky threw 54 times. What scenario in blue hell he has the right to throw that many times? How? Why? I don't care how much you're getting blown out by. To let that piece of trash throw 54 times is unacceptable, to say the very least. He sucks. He's very bad. He can't hit his receivers at all. They have to dumb down the playbook for this guy, and he still messes up. It's ridiculous. There are times where Matt Nagy run these type of little wheel route plays for like Taylor Gabriel, and they be running down the field wide open. That piece of trash either doesn't see him, can't hit the throw, or just refuses to even throw that direction and throws to somebody who's either covered or just misses an easy throw downfield. He is horrible. And what makes it worse is that he was passed on for, Deshaun Watson was in that draft class. Patrick Cojones was in that draft class. Instead, they went to number 2 overall pick to draft that guy who apparently never even started college all that much. And when he did start, was horrific. I think even in a small school. So I want to know. I need to go ahead and.
First of all, my thing is, why would you over draft or trade up for someone who went to North Carolina?
Like, that's a basketball school.
Exactly, basketball school, like North Carolina. Yeah, they already playing the ACC. Yeah, they get destroyed by Clemson every year. What the fuck? Like, really?
Like, I don't understand that. So why I need to interview that GM? Because like you deserve, I believe he's still there. You deserve to get fired just for that. I don't care what defense you built. So you wasted the 2nd overall pick, I believe it was, to draft that guy. When you gave up on 2 Pro Bowl or higher quarterbacks at this moment, even though one of them in the hospital. Really, and they could have had Matt Nagy as their coaches.
Horrific.
That's Chicago's history with quarterbacks.
Great, historically great defenses. There's horrific quarterbacks. That's it.
It's like this right there proves it that they're just destined for that.
It's not at least the QB. At least he's not worse than Rex Grossman. He was horrific.
But I guess that's true because at least he won't turn over the ball. Rex Grossman lived that life, turning over the ball. So I guess that's true. And plus, at least Trubisky could run, I guess. But still, dude, they need to go trade for like Dalton or Cam or even Fitzpatrick. That's what Bird told me. I said, you know what? He's gonna cost you what, a 7th round pick? I said, yeah, 7th round pick. Screw it. Guess Fitzpatrick. He'll mess up too, but at least you win games because of him too. And with this defense, they can cover up for his stupidity. Hey, the Dolphins don't want him. They're about to win because of him soon.
What? They almost won twice.
I was saying, once they see a certain New York team that rock green, Fitzpatrick will beat them at least once. At least.
We'll get to them in a second. I can't wait for that one. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of running, the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens go into Seattle and they defeat the Seahawks 30-16. The Seahawks, like I said before, the Seahawks, they came down to earth on this one.
Yes, they did.
Russell Wilson didn't have a good game. He was 20 for 41. A lot of throws, like, you know what I'm saying? This wasn't himself in this game.
He got clamped.
Yeah, he wasn't himself in this game. But that's not the story here. It happens. It happens. Seattle's one of those teams that, they're good, but they'll have a bad game or so. But they'll be all right. It's all good.
Yeah, like when DK Metcalf decides to take the ball and just put it on the floor for the defense to recover.
Yeah.
That stuff like that happens. Yeah,
it happens. I mean, whatever. It's what it is. As far as the Ravens, people think, oh, Lamar Jackson, he rushed for 100 yards and threw for 100. Ooh, he threw for 143 yards.
That's
Ooh.
horrific.
Horrific. 45% of completion rating. Horrific. But yeah, but he rushed over 116 yards. What's the point of having Mark Ingram on your team if you're out rushing him 2 games in a row?
By almost triple.
Almost triple his amount. It's horrific. And then my thing is Seattle. My thing is about Seattle. Seattle, why didn't you just... You know he's going to run the ball. That's his first instinct, to run the ball first. Stack the box. You really think that this playing style the Ravens have is going to beat the Patriots? No. Belichick's gonna have 7 men in the box. He'll do what he did yesterday, and it's zero blitz the hell out of Lamar Jackson, dead his ass to throw, and we know he can't. This is a slam dunk. How could you not do that?
This style didn't beat the Chiefs.
It didn't. It's ridiculous.
Look, they're literally this game to me was the battle of the first one and done teams. They're both to me are going to go one and done.
That's fair.
That's what I think.
In the playoffs, yeah, that's fair.
Assuming Seattle makes it because they had a dogfight in the NFC ahead of us. I don't know, but I know just probably off default the Ravens are going to make it and win that division. They're getting one and done.
Yeah,
they're not winning a playoff game. That's not happening.
I already said it before. They lose to Buffalo in the wild card.
Oh, this will be easy for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy for Buffalo.
Because Buffalo's not winning the AFC East, but they're gonna be in the playoffs. Number 5 seed. Whoever ends in that number 4 seed will probably be Baltimore. You're one and done. Buffalo is gonna demolish them. It's gonna be easy, and that's it.
That's probably gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, more likely, yeah. And then we'll have to deal with them later. But it's okay.
I ain't scared of nobody.
Speaking of,
I'll edit that out because that's biased.
Yeah, that's biased. We edited it out. The Dallas Cowboys, after losing 3 in a row, including giving the Jets the first win of the season last week, which is horrific in their own mind. You guys still suck. I don't care if you beat the Eagles by 27 points. The Eagles' defense is horrendous. It's horrific. It's horrible.
They got blown out though.
Which I called. I called that, and people said not gonna be a blowout. Yeah, it's gonna be a blowout. They'll blow them out because the Eagles' defense is terrible. Except for Carson Wentz, who did what he could, but this was bad.
He had some horrific picks though.
Yeah.
That game I definitely watched front to back, and he had some throws. I'm just looking at TV like dog.
But the Cowboys didn't prove anything to me.
Like that team doesn't wear green, right? Like what are you doing? But yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys just literally proved nothing to me. You guys still suck. When you give the Jets their first win, and then you beat on the Eagles the next week. Yeah, you lost 3 in a row, but this is uncalled for. I don't even care. Even if they make the playoffs, win the NFC East, one and done. They're out of here. Get them out of here. But other than that, that's all I have to say about that. This game literally proved nothing to me.
Yeah, it's pretty clear to me at this rate that the only one team is coming out of the NFC East in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So this is one of 2 battles they're gonna have, and we'll see what goes from there. I think they might play week 17. I'm gonna check right now.
Week 17 they play.
Let me check right now. But
they play the Redskins.
Yeah, they do play the Redskins. You're right. I just check right now. Yeah, Eagles play the Giants. The Giants not that easy of a team. You know they suck. But
you know what's crazy? The same thing. But that's my father was saying. My father was saying like it was easy because he's a Giants fan. Obviously, people who didn't know, he's a Giants fan. And he was saying because he was upset that the Cardinals beat the Giants. I'm like, yo, the Giants really aren't that good. They're really not that good of a team.
Suck.
And he was saying that they'll fuck around and play the Eagles hard and lose to them because the Eagles will bust everybody's ass, lose everybody, and play the Giants and beat the Giants because they always do. The Eagles have been beating the Giants' ass for like the last 6 years. Like at least 7 years, they beat them pretty bad. They're demoralizing. Like,
they should. They suck.
But
the Eagles right now, they're one of the more overrated teams that people had preseason pick, including me as top of the NFC.
I did too.
They're completely over. That defense has no
place in this league.
They're really bad. They can't rush. They apparently they're supposed to be able to stop the run. They ain't do that on Sunday.
Do you know
Ezekiel ran wild. They have no secondary.
First of all,
they're bad.
Nelson Aguilar. There was a play. They're getting blown up. He's wide open. he had a pretty decent, he beat his receiver, beat the receiver, and he beat the defender. Completely alligator arms the catch, like he's like if you can't, I just can't see me, but he literally alligator armed.
He didn't stretch out his arm all the way.
Not at
and
all.
The ball went right next to his fingers.
And I was like, you suck.
Yes.
And this is why the Eagles fans hate you. They hate you because and I can't believe he's a Super Bowl champion. Not to the help of him though, but he had a couple of good seasons, but he sucks.
No, he sucks.
But that wraps up week number 7.
That is week 7. We'll talk about these little trades right quick, which will take like 5 seconds, and then we're going to let you guys go there. So, Emmanuel Sanders to the 49ers. That's a really good pickup. They needed a receiver really badly.
Yeah, they do.
Because they did not have a number 1 at all. We know the magic that Emmanuel Sanders has. We've seen in Denver for years. Garoppolo should fall in love with him instantly. And I know Kyle Shanahan will fall in love with him instantly because he is one of the deadliest route runners that you'll see in the NFL. And even though he's had a couple leg injuries over the years, his speed hasn't really wavered. He's still killing it. So that's a really nice weapon for a team who needs a bit of explosion in a passing game. It can't be just George Kittle.
Exactly.
And the Seahawks picked up Quandre Diggs from the Lions. And they plugged in because they do need safety help kind of bad. They don't really have anybody back there. So we'll see how that goes because you know how the Seattle system is completely different from other systems defensively. So we'll see if he can, find his home there. But they did need some safety help. So I'm glad that I saw them trying to plug in a hole. See, clearly. 30 seconds. Now that's it. So the usual, subscribe, like, rate, share, comment. Tell us if you like us. Tell us if you hate us. Tell us if we suck. Tell us if you love us. You know the drill, guys. Let's spread our community together. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and apparently we are on iHeartRadio too.
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked when I found that shit out too. I was like, iHeartRadio, really? Okay.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
I make magic happen.
Anyway, man, we'll see you guys later. Enjoy and yeah.
Peace out.
Peace.